Yeah.
It is midday and we are live from the ASRC Telethon on World Refugee Day, and midday means Hour of Power. How exciting. Your donations are doubled. Thank you to the generosity of the Metamorphic Foundation, of Steve and Jill from Canberra, and Nate and Rafi. All of those generous donors have meant that your donations will be doubled for the next hour. And I'm really, really pleased to be joined by Sarah from the Metamorphic Foundation, long-time supporters of ASRC. Thank you for coming. I'm promising it's not nerve-wracking at all being live. So, Sarah, why are you donating today? Why is Metamorphic Foundation matching donations for this Hour of Power today on World Refugee Day?
I think on World Refugee Day, it's extra important to make as big an impact as we possibly can. So we really do want to be doubling our donation today. So we've been long-term supporters of the ASRC and the work that you do. I remember hearing a line a long time ago that Con actually said, which is that they would like to make themselves redundant at the ASRC. Clearly that isn't actually happening, which is really awful. And I think what actually we should be doing isn't actually going to be costing very much money, but you guys are so needed in this country at the moment, and particularly with all the dreadful things going on in terms of, you know, the lack of policy development that we see. I think that we have become a bit of a nation that's a little bit inhumane, and that's something that on the Metamorphic Foundation makes us really quite unhappy. So we're happy to support your work in whatever way we can.
No, thank you, and thanks for that community leadership that is shown. So Metamorphic Foundation also joining with Nate and Rafi, Steve and Jill from Canberra to double your donations right now for this Hour of Power. That means, yeah, $2 becomes $4, $50 becomes $100. And yes, you know, Sarah, as you're mentioning, I've been at ASRC 16 years. I would love to not have a job. I would love for the policies to have changed so much that ASRC does not need to exist, because the only reason we exist are because of policy failures and intentional successive government choices. Choices not to give people Medicare, choices not to let people the right to work, choices to detain people offshore, choices to have really protracted and long processing times, choices to deny people family reunion. They are the reasons that ASRC has its doors opened. And yes, it's unfortunate that we still have to be as big as we are, but we are also very, very proudly independent, which means we need to raise money on days like today. And we just announced recently that we had hit $500,000, which is incredible, but it means we need another $1 million in the next 10 hours. And this hour is particularly powerful because donations are doubled. Thank you to, you know, Sarah from Metamorphic Foundation, to Steve and Jill from Canberra, and Nate and Rafi, and they are reasons why your donations are doubled right now. Call 1300 692 772. We want to hear the phones ringing. We want to be absolutely busy taking those calls because donations are doubled. And Sarah, you mentioned, you know, not only is it the services that ASRC provides, but also the advocacy work that we do. And you recently came to our Work Rights campaign event launch, and I promise this is not planned. Everyone out there thinking it's sceptical, but Sarah also emailed our team asking what to be able to do with advocacy. We recommended contacting a local member, and so you did contact your local member.
I did.
Do you mind sharing with us? Break down that camera.
So I will actually say that it wasn't as hard as I thought it would be. It was a little nerve-wracking. I called up and tried to make an appointment and said why I was calling. My local member is Sarah Whitty, so I will give her a little shout out. So I called them up. Didn't actually think I'd get an appointment, Jana. So when I did get the appointment, I thanked the ASRC for the talking points that they supplied to me because they were very useful, and I did want to see her specifically about work rights. It seems to me that the first thing that we should do as a country is do no harm, and work rights for asylum seekers and refugees is something that actually would only produce benefits. It would be of great benefit to the economy to have our asylum seekers and refugees working. It would be an incredibly good move for their mental health, and actually for us to just look like we're being humane. I really don't understand why there would be any negative connotations or anything that would be negative about giving asylum seekers and refugees work rights. And the fact that they are charged international student rates to enrol into study, I think is it's inhumane, unnecessary, and should be changed.
Yeah, there are so many things that don't make sense at all about our refugee and asylum policies in Australia. Like, why would you deny people the right to work. We have skill shortage areas in Australia. We have people who have the skills who want to contribute. They want to be able to provide for themselves, to rebuild their lives while they're navigating that very complex system of seeking asylum. Yet because of intentional government choices, not just this government but successive governments, the people are denied the right to work. So we do have a work rights campaign, and that is where your donations go towards. They go towards us taking delegations of people with lived experience to Canberra. It goes towards us providing refugee leadership training to young refugees who want to advocate for themselves. That's where donations are going. If you donate now in our Hour of Power, donations are doubled. Call 1300 692 772. Text HOPE to 0476 000 111. You can also go online. You can go through social media platforms. However, wherever you are watching this, you can make a difference by donating, because we've got generous donors until 1 p.m. doubling donations. Thank you to the Metamorphic Foundation. Thank you to Steve and Jill from Canberra, and thank you to Nate and Rafi as well. All people who really wanted to take action, because not only is it providing vital services to people seeking asylum and refugees, but it is sending a message of hope, of love and welcome. I mean, at the moment, Sarah, you know, you've touched on the divisive narratives that we're seeing. It seems as if every day there is another piece that is attacking migrants, attacking multicultural Australia, and it is something that your people's donations today also send that clear message that we are rejecting that hatred. We are celebrating our multicultural. I mean, look at this room. I don't know how much you can see on camera here, but it is absolutely buzzing. It is full of multicultural Australia, and it's great to see donors making a donation which is saying that we want the better version of Australia that we can be.
I think all we have to think about is what we used to eat when we were kids. And the change that we've had in the food over the time, to see what just at a very basic level what the difference is that migrants have made. And I think too, our football team at the moment, you know, is a perfect example of what we benefit from. I'm not quite sure we would do quite that well, although we just have come across a loss, but that's okay. Back to the Hour of Power, please make sure that you do donate in this hour, because it will be doubled, and it is a genuine doubling of the donation that will come in.
Yes, absolutely. So donations are doubled for the next hour until 1 p.m. thanks to Metamorphic Foundation, to Steve and Jill from Canberra, and to Nate and Rafi. Donations will be doubled. So that is double your impact. And yes, let's celebrate multicultural Australia. Let's celebrate the best that this country has to offer, whether it's food, it's storytelling, it's language, it's poetry. There is so much vibrancy. Imagine if we were all the same, how boring that would be. So that is what your donations are going towards today, towards love, towards hope, towards unity and towards diversity. All of your donations will be doubled until 1 p.m. We'll come back to you later and give you a bit of an update, but thank you, Sarah,
Oh, you're
so
welcome.
much.
Thank you for all the work that you do.
Thank you everyone for watching, and we are now going to go to Oggy, I hope.
Thank you.
All right, say right. Well, we are here with Healy Ratura and Dulan Hiparachi, and they are two incredible people. I'm going to introduce them in just a minute, but it is the Hour of Power happening right now, which means that all donations are being doubled. If people call the number that's on your T-shirt, do you remember the number off by heart?
1300 692 772.
Fantastic. 1300 692 772 if you want to donate and have your donation doubled. So these incredible people, Healy is an acclaimed chef and founder of Enter Via Laundry, celebrated for showcasing the diversity and richness of Indian cuisine. And Dulan is a Sri Lankan Australian entrepreneur, that's pretty impressive, home cook and former MasterChef contestant. That's quite incredible. They both use food as a powerful way to celebrate identity, tell stories, and bring communities together. Now, please, I'm holding my paper very carefully because we are actually about to do a quiz with these two amazing people. But before we get to that, I just want to ask you, why is food important to you? Maybe start with you, Healy.
I think food is everything. That's something that's constant for us every day. Every single person consumes food, but we say a story with it. And there's so much more. It's like a DNA that you decode to get so much more out of it.
Yeah. And what about you, Dulan?
100%. Like, same as Haley said, you know, food nourishes us. You know, food is about your soul. Food is about family. Food is about bringing people together. So without food, we don't have all these unities. We don't have these cultures. You know, food is like, you think it's just, you know, eating something and, you know, but it's about more than just that.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And Con always talks about, we have community meal at ASRC here every day. He always talks about the fact that we need longer tables and not taller walls.
Yeah.
And the idea that when people are sitting down eating together, they can't fight each other. Food brings us together. And Dylan, what's happening here behind us?
Oh, I think it's like a massive feast happening, I rocked up and just gave me a plate. They're like, here, we got all these spread of food. And then they just came and brought all these beautiful biryani, pilaf looking rices. Smells incredible. So yeah, these guys are volunteers, working really hard to feed everyone here. And yeah, I think we just came at the right time.
Yeah.
It is a big operation here at the ASRC Telethon. And Healy, why did you come? Why do you want to be part of today?
I think I met Con at one of our book launches, and I'm just a huge fan of everything that he does. So I wanted to come and support, of course, the organization. And I think what a better way. There's no other better way to spend your Saturday morning than this.
Yeah, absolutely right. And this is a special segment because we're about to have a food off. I've got a set of questions and we're going to find out how much these people really know about food. There can only be one winner, so you've got to help me keep score. I'm going to ask some questions and we're going to get some answers. The first question, please make sure they're not cheating, is what is the most widely eaten staple food in the world? Pork? Hang on a second. I can give you some options.
Oh, hang on. So
this is multi-choice.
Food, you have to say.
Hang on, sorry, you can't question the questions.
You have to be more specific.
I'll give you three examples. Okay, so it could be A, bread.
Yeah.
It could be B, rice, or it could be C, pasta.
Rice.
Rice? Okay, all right. It sounds like you copied her answer a little bit. So the answer is B, rice. So you both get 1 point each. Okay.
India, Sri Lanka, apart from that, big Asia. So obviously, I was going to say, in Sri Lankan, Indian, and then we come from the southeast of Asia, and we know what, that Asian segment is pretty much dominates rice.
Yeah. Okay. It seems almost like you're working against me now. So
He knows now.
So the second question, what is the world's most expensive spice by weight? What's the world's most expensive spice by weight? Hang on. Oh, okay.
All
right. There's three options, and the answer is C, saffron.
Saffron, yeah, easy. Even before the question ended, we don't need saffron.
Okay.
I almost predicted it.
Yeah.
Okay. Which country is believed to have invented ice cream?
Oh.
Was it Philippines?
A, Italy, B, China, or C, Greece?
Oh.
They
believe or they actually did?
Which country is believed to have invented? Where it was believed to have invented?
Italy is pretty obvious. Should we go with an obvious answer, or Greece, or China? Oh my God, no knows. I want to go with Greece. I want to go with Greece.
I want
to go with Greece.
No, but they don't have a gelato shop.
I know they're not big on gelato, but invented. They're talking about the invention of that. So let's go with.
Well, before we...
Italy for me,
All right,
Greece
Italy
for
and
him.
Greece.
Italy. Okay, we've got Italy and Greece. Before we reveal the answer, I just want to remind everyone that you could be listening to this really fun segment while you're donating. And you can donate by calling 1300 692 772. It won't distract us. We'll keep going and you do the donating. The answer for everyone watching at home is actually B, China. So it's 1 point for me.
Where is the proof in that? Do you have any proof to back that up with?
You have to go to China.
I know.
We will have to do. Can we cross from China? Can we do a cross from China?
Can we? Do we have anyone over there?
I'm willing to go. All right. Question 5. Which of these foods is named after a city? A, hamburger. B, burrito. Or C, risotto.
Hamburger.
Yeah.
The answer is A, Hamburg. Hamburg in Deutschland, in Germany.
Yeah, that's it. Yep, that's it. Do that one.
We're acing this.
Hey?
We're acing this.
Acing this.
Except for one.
Well, yeah, you got 4 out of 5. I wouldn't say acing, but you're definitely getting a strong B.
That's it.
Okay, to close okay, sorry, this is to close, but it's also to the closest 100. How many different cultural backgrounds are represented across Australia today? 100, 200, or 300?
I want to go with 200.
Yeah.
I want to go with 200.
it's higher than that. It's 300. We are an incredibly diverse and multicultural place.
Well, I learned something new today. China and 300 different cultures in Australia.
So proud.
It is quite incredible. Well, I just want to say thank you for being here, for being part of the World Refugee Day Telethon, powered by the ASRC, by supporting what the ASRC does, and bringing also your followers, hopefully, to support what the ASRC does, because today is about celebrating the 300 different cultures and communities and how multicultural we are across the country, but also being with refugees and people seeking asylum at a time when refugees and people seeking asylum are so incredibly marginalised. 1300 692 772 is the number to call. One of these lovely people might actually be answering your phone call. Yeah, but please do get on the phone and know that not only are you doing something really incredible by donating, your donation is also going to be doubled if you call right now.
Brilliant.
Thank you both.
Thank you.
And we are live back in the main room for the ASRC World Refugee Day Telethon. You just heard from Oggy in the garage where those wonderful smells are coming from, but the food theme is continuing very strongly. Your donations are being doubled right now, 1300 692 772, and I'm really honoured to be here with Kishwa. Hello.
Hi Anna, how are you?
Good, so good to see you again as a long-time supporter of the ASRC and the telethon. And, you know, it's been such I can't believe it's already been a year since the last telethon, but what a big year that it's been. So Kishwa, reflecting on the last year for you and for the state affairs in the world and even more close to home in Australia, what are your reflections and what does it mean to you to be part of this year's telethon on World Refugee Day?
Yeah, Yana, a lot of people when I walked into the door, they were just like, are you here? I thought you were in Bangladesh, and I was in Bangladesh about 30 hours ago, but this is something that I just never want to miss because it's so important as a community. It's so important as a Victorian, as a Melburnian, to be here to support on June 20th every single year, the World Refugee Day and this particular telethon. It is sort of a lifeline for a lot of people out there in your surrounding suburbs, but across Melbourne, across Victoria. And what I've seen in the last 4 to 5 years that I've been a supporter of the ASRC is unfortunately, very unfortunately, a growing need and a growing dependency on the food bank, on ASRC services. And I remember 4 years ago when when I first came to post MasterChef onto ASRC, Con described as the ASRC as something that he unfortunately has to do. Because centres like the ASRC shouldn't really exist if the world is, logistically, if we can, if food and everything else was logistically sort of handled correctly, there is enough food that is made in the world that no one should go home, that no one should go hungry. And I do a lot of work out in other countries like Bangladesh, where we have enough food for everyone, but we don't produce it, and there's a lot of disparity in where resources land.
Yeah, and so, sorry.
No. So what I'd say since then is maybe it is unfortunate that we're doing this again. I love coming here and I love seeing you and I love everyone who gets together and does this. But unfortunately, that need is growing, and it means that there is more need for us to get together and raise our voices and do a little bit more and try a little bit harder and reach a little bit deeper into our pockets on a day like today.
Yeah, and it really does feel like at the moment it's a time where we need to be coming together more and more, because people seeking asylum are some of the most marginalised in the community, but also the way that migrants, refugees and people seeking asylum are being talked about. We've already thought that it was pretty much as bad as it could be, but as you've said, Kishwa, the narratives out there are just so divisive intentionally, and when people can't even access basic needs such as food, and I know food is obviously Kishwa. I'm here with Kishwa Chowdhury during our hour of power, meaning that all of your donations are doubled. So that means that your donation of $5 becomes $10. Your donation of $50 becomes $100. That enables us to buy twice as much food as we can to keep our food bank shelved. We are providing fortnightly groceries to people through our food bank in Dandenong and in Footscray. We also do a hot meal, a community lunch. Food is something that not only brings people together, but it's such a necessity. How can you put your best foot forward and fight for your right to stay in the country hungry if you're hungry. And that's one thing that under ASRC is that we provide everything under the one house. So donations are doubled. But also, Kishwa, as you've said, you've just come back from Bangladesh, which means that your auction item, which is up for grabs on our auction, is even more than just the cookbook. So we've got, thank you, Gary.
Actually, Gary, you come in and
you come in and hold it. All right.
for us.
Thank you, Cameo Gary. But we have here, talk through. So we have over 60 items which are up for auction as well. So not only can you donate directly, and your donations are doubled right now, but you can also bid on auction items. We've got some absolutely fantastic items. Kishwa,
I'm really excited about the Socceroos jersey, right in the middle of FIFA fever.
I know.
We have like the entire Socceroos team who've got their 2026 team with the signed jersey. I don't know why people aren't like running there. This is such a hot auction item, and it would be tens of thousands of dollars to get a piece of memorabilia like this at a moment like this for Australia.
Absolutely, and it has been professionally framed. It has got the plaque on it showing that it is the current FIFA World Cup 2026 Socceroos team. It was signed by the Socceroos while they were training in the US a couple of weeks ago, just ahead of playing. And while we know the result wasn't quite what everyone was cheering on for this morning, they still have one more game coming up. There's a chance of going through to the qualifiers past the group stage. So yes, there is that Socceroos jersey, and it's very kind and generous of you to talk about the Socceroos jersey when you've got something that you have donated. Let's talk about
I can't compete with the Socceroos right now. Like everyone just run there and bid, but there's so many fantastic stays and luxury sort of stays as well. But
talk through this, please.
Just a couple of weeks ago, my book has launched here and globally, and this is why I was off in Bangladesh, and I had a beautiful reception at the Australian High Commission by the Australian High Commissioner over there. We had the Prime Minister's wife and daughter attend, and it's a very culturally relevant book for people from my diaspora. And so this is 100 recipes and stories from my very Melbourne home. It's called Smoke Rice Water, and I wrote it over the last 2 years. So it was a real passion project, but it is finding a lot of love across Australia and across the world, in the UK and America. And it is one of Australia's top 10 cookbooks right now. So, so there's a signed copy of that. We have a beautiful illustrator called Takaye, and they are extremely well loved, extremely well known. So this is a signed little map from them. This was commissioned for the book.
Oh, it's absolutely beautiful. I don't know if the camera might not have got close enough, but it's a hand illustration just showing the different regions and areas in Bangladesh and the different
and West Bengal as well.
And West Bengal as well. Because we know behind, you know, I think I love the way that your book is called Recipes and Stories, because it's not just about food, it's also about the stories behind food, those shared stories and this beautiful illustration. But
how we gather, how we eat.
But there's more. There's more.
So we have a cute little candle which everyone seems to be sniffing.
Yes,
and
I can
like,
smell it.
What smell is that? And I honestly, I just bought the most aesthetic one. I have a cute little apron, which is the first one that we have in Australia.
Oh my gosh.
So no one has this right now.
Oh, beautiful. Wow.
They will be available to buy later on, but right now ASRC has the very, very first apron. And Jan, I want to tell you a little bit about the food.
Please do. Do you want me to hold it so you can describe it?
So Sorry.
Just to see how good it looks on me. I might be bidding on
It
this.
looks great on you. My new sous chef. But these are all dishes, sort of momos from Nepal that sort of made their way down into Bengal. And then we have like the fish, because it's a network of rivers, but the sweets. And it's just a really lovely nod to food from that area. And it's not often that we see Bangladeshi representation or what our food looks like or the names of it. So this has also stuck a bit of an emotional chord when we sort of put it out there for people to see. And we had hundreds and hundreds of people sort of come out and said, I want that apron. And I just had one for myself. So the very first apron is going to the ASRC, to the highest bidder right now.
How special. And I have to say, it feels really nice. I know some aprons you've got to wear in before they can sort of mold to your body and you want to cook in it. But I would absolutely love to cook in this apron. But did you say there's even more in that basket of goodies from Kishwa, straight from Bangladesh? What amazing.
And so this is a beautiful tea towel as well.
Wow.
With the map. And like you said, they're very soft, but it's just a very beautiful collector's piece for this part of the world. And it's probably a nod to a lot of the people that you will be helping when you bid on something like this. There are a lot of people, especially marginalized communities around the hill tracts of Bangladesh on the border of Myanmar, the Rohingya community, which are very affected by a lot of geopolitics in that area. And so bringing this back and coming full circle, and as an Australian to be able to sit here and sort of support that community is the least that we can do at times where people sort of lose everything. And we can bring a little bit of hope back through food as well. And then we have a few little ingredients like our little garam masala and the naan katai and the pachfron. So that's all in the pack. And I've made some of these myself. So they're going straight into the pack.
So there is absolute heart and soul in this pack. There's the apron, there's the beautiful book, there is the illustration, there is also the tea towel and then the spices and the candle. But these are what you can bid for. So I have covered up my 1300 692 772 for your donations to be doubled right now, but there are also over 60 items in the auction to bid for, and I have to say that up there with the Socceroos jersey, this one is looking amazing, and there are actually 2 packs you've got, so you can bid twice. So if you see one and you miss out on it, you can also bid for the other one, and this really, would have one of the first aprons of this kind in Australia. You can feel the love and the stories and the culture that's behind this. I absolutely love it. So thank you so much for donating it.
And I just want to say, in the past year and working with the ASRC, working with the food bank, what I see time and time again with the ASRC is it's such an effort from ordinary Melburnians, ordinary Australians who do come together, who are the ones who are banding together when you've got so many more mouths to feed, and there are so many people who are becoming more reliant on food banks, which no one wants to be in the position of receiving something as opposed to being able to give something. I see people who are around you from the markets, from here in Footscray, the Dandenong markets, who come in to be able to support an entire community of people who at the end of the day need to put food on their table. So give generously. Food means a lot to me. I get to work in really amazing and fine dining spaces, but until everybody gets to eat, none of that is really worth it at all. So I would really, really pledge for people to be kind and open up your hearts, your wallets, give very, very generously, make a donation, definitely bid on one of these. But today's the day to really get in there and help the community, because right now, more than ever, I see a lot of need in the community for our support. So get loud about it.
Thank you so much, Kishwa. And yes, today is the day, but this hour is the hour because all donations are being doubled. Donations are being doubled until 1 p.m. You can also then bid on the auction items, including this amazing package. And as Kishwa said, food insecurity is very real, and people seeking asylum are some of the most marginalised in our community. We recently did a survey with people seeking asylum, asking them about the impact of the cost of living crisis of the war on Iran with rising fuel and food costs, and over a third said that they are skipping a meal because of the rise in food. So food insecurity is a very real thing. It's why people are relying on ASRC. If you can't work because you don't have the right to work, or you can't get a job because you weren't able to access any job services, you're only on a short-term visa, then that is why people come to ASRC and rely on our food bank. So please give generously. Donations will be doubled until 1 p.m. You can also bid on the auction items. 1300 692 772. Text HOPE to 0476 000 111 or go to asrc.org.au telethon. So thank you so much, Kishwa, not only for the auction item, but for spending some time with us, for talking about, the meaningfulness of food. It was so great to have you here. I mean, you're looking so fresh, especially getting off a long-haul flight. That is amazing. And now we're going to throw to a video from Yanis, and then we'll be back live shortly at ASRC World Refugee Day Telethon. Thank you.
To me, ASRC is many organizations under one roof and tackling many issues that people seeking asylum are facing. And ASRC is not just a small organization under one roof. That is what people don't really understand, how much work is being done and how much support has been provided to people seeking asylum to get to the right destiny in their journey. People seeking asylum have also tremendous potential. They can contribute to this country. And this is what most people don't understand. I am proud because I'm part of this journey and I am contributing, and I'm really proud that we have been doing a lot of new things, a lot of creativities, and particularly the human rights based approach that we have introduced in recent years. And it makes me really proud that I am also part of that. To the people who started this kind of organization 25 years ago, I would say you are really visionary. You have established the right organization and you made tremendous change, and thank you for that.
And we are back live at the ASRC World Refugee Day Telethon while your donations are being doubled now. And someone who has been on the phones for the last little bit, I am honoured to be welcomed by Madeline West, actress known for Neighbours, for I think there was one called House Husbands, which I'd love to know more about that. But you've been a long-time supporter of ASRC, Madeline. Thank you so much for coming back in today. Welcome to the telethon where donations have been doubled. Have you managed to take any calls so far?
I've taken quite a few calls, but I've actually been spending a lot of my time doing thank you calls, reaching out to people who've made really generous donations, particularly in the current climate where a lot of people are doing without and doing really tough. Just to say, hey, we see you, we appreciate you, every cent counts, and you're really making a difference to a lot of lives.
Oh, wonderful. And what has been some of the responses for people? Why have they said that they're donating to ASRC in particular today?
Often just something that I really love, that we live in an era where there is so much disconnection. And when I started working here at the ASRC, I started working in the kitchens during COVID. And that was an era of such extreme disconnection, and we've come through that period. And yet, disconnection is operating on a whole different level where our community is so divided in so many ways. And I think that there's a lot of people out there who just want to offer kindness, a little act of kindness, and that's such a testament to our humanity. So just calling in, and some have done things like teaching English as a second language.
Wow.
So they've had exposure to young kids who've come here to Australia seeking a better life and are trying to do everything they can to achieve that. So they're really there at the grassroots and they want to give back, which is wonderful.
That is absolutely wonderful. So that means that if you do call and donate now, not only will your donations be doubled, but you might get a thank you call from Madeline West, which is just fantastic. That'll be a reason. So 1300 692 772. And Madeline, you know, obviously by being someone who's on our screens and in our homes, you know, acting is really storytelling. So what to you is important about storytelling and the importance of storytelling, especially at a time when we're being told that there's, you know, wanting to be maybe not as much multiculturalism, which we know multiculturalism is diversity and stories. Why is storytelling such a powerful way to get a message across, and the importance of storytelling?
I think it's critical because every story deserves to be told. Every person has a story. Every story deserves to be told. And each story is another bright thread in the incredible tapestry that is Australia, the country that we love, and that one that was founded on hope. And in order for us to hold together and be strong as a fabric, then every thread needs to be given every opportunity to shine and to be heard and to be listened to. And I think when we share stories, we find commonality. And I think that's important now more than ever. There is such a focus on what divides us, yet we are united by so much. And so it comes back to kindness, whether it's making a generous donation or just offering a person an opportunity to join, or just giving, creating connection where there might not be any, or just offering a smile to a stranger. Those little acts of kindness they cost nothing, but for those who receive it, they are priceless. And a day like today is just such an important demonstration that kindness is transformative.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, being in the building, it's such an honour and privilege today because you can feel that kindness, you can feel that love, the positive energy. And so if you do call now, 1300 692 772, your donations will be doubled until 1 p.m. thanks to really generous Hour of Power, thanks to Metamorphic Foundation, Steve and Jill in Canberra, and Nate and Rafi as well. Donations will be doubled. And, you know, Madeline, I think over the years, you know, you've obviously been a big supporter of ASRC, but you've spoken up for for a range of social justice issues. What is it that motivates you to take action and to advocate?
I think it's important to advocate because we never know what's going on in the background of someone's life. As it's kind of become abundantly aware, I've experienced some significant hurdles myself, and I felt it was really important to speak out about my experiences so that others who feel similarly or have had similar experiences might feel prepared to strip away the stigma and speak out and explain what has happened to them and the journey it's taken them on. And again, this comes back to storytelling. And if we're going to make the world a better place, then we need to work together and unite against those social ills that befall us and threaten to topple us. And poverty is one of them, disconnection is one of them, gross abuse of power is another one. So anything that we can do to stimulate that, I think it's leading to a better future, and that's all we want.
Yeah, I think people don't often see that donating is a way to take action, and it absolutely is. The only way that we can keep our doors open at ASRC, whether it's advocating and having young refugees with that lived experience join us in Canberra, or training up young refugee advocates, or putting a meal on the table, or being able to fundraise for nappies or a community legal centre, is through donations.
Yep.
And because we exist as an organisation because of intentional and cruel political choices, this is a way to be part of something bigger.
Absolutely, and as you were saying, it's about the gestures that we do now are paying it forward. So the incredible world that we're creating, if our next leader is able to say, well, I came from a diverse background, I came from faraway shores, yet the generosity of the Australian public is what has allowed me to get to where I am, and that in itself creates a sense of generosity, giving back, and a more cohesive nation, and that's what we're all seeking.
And, you know, how awesome is multicultural Australia and the community that we have? We have so many nationalities and languages and cultures under this roof today, and even people who are calling through and donating. And you can be one of them too. Donations are doubled until 1 p.m. 1300 692 772. We also have a range of incredible auction items to bid for. You could also call through and get Madeline on the phone, either answering calls or thank you calls. You're an absolute draw card. I would, if I wasn't so busy up here, I would be making a call and getting a donation to speak to you, because you've also, you articulated why it's so important to take action, but also that you can see the impact of that action's taken. I think people often feel extremely powerless and think that them taking action
and overwhelmed,
speaking out, and overwhelmed, powerless, overwhelmed, or thinking, I don't know all the facts, I don't know how to make that argument. But it really is simple, whether it's through a donation, whether it's sharing a post, whether it's talking about your own vulnerability or lived experience. They are the ways that people can be powerful advocates. And so, Madeline, through the times that you have taken action, have you seen that impact of that action? And what are your words of encouragement to motivate others?
I think, as I said before, those small acts of kindness have a much more significant impact than maybe we give it credence to. And we all have to start somewhere. If you want to be the change that you want to see, that starts with action. Yes. It's one thing to be thinking about it, it's one thing to be contemplating about it or talking about it in a cafe. It's another thing to actually get on the phone and go, yeah, okay, they've got extra $20. Instead of going out for breakfast at a cafe, I'm going to give it to a good cause. And that could potentially change someone's life. Yep. That's ground roots change.
Yeah, absolutely. And at the moment, that $20 would become $40 because donations are doubled. So please get on the phone, 1300 692 772. Jump online through your phone, asrc.org.au telethon, or you can just text HOPE to 0476 000 111, because donations will be doubled for the next, up until 1 p.m. So please do donate. Now we're going to go to a video from Kashif and Moin.
The refugee community is one of the most marginalized community, not only in Australia but across the world. As the economy is becoming more tighter, this community is becoming more the target of that extremism. I would say the need was always there, but it has become even more important for somebody to speak for them. And that's where I think the ASRC has a very critical role to play in it. For me, the most important thing is how fearless we are when a lot of people could be hiding away for speaking the truth, and also how brilliantly in times of need, we bring the whole community together. Most recently, for example, we did our Volunteers Night as part of 20-year anniversary, where we brought about over 200 past and also present volunteers together, still people who were part of this organization and now coming together and still connected to it. I think that moves me a lot, rather be it clients, donors, or volunteers, staff. All of them believing in us and their continued determination to support us over the last 25 years, and also grown in numbers too. And I think that has helped us alive, but also most importantly, our ability to be able to deliver on what we said, and also I think have been able to help us where we are today. What I would say to the people who started ASRC 25 years ago with CON, which includes all the donors, all the volunteers, most of them volunteers because there were not many staff at that time, is that thank you for taking that first step, especially with no or minimal or no resources available to them as compared to what we have at our disposal these days. Without their determination and courage of taking that first step, I wouldn't be here today talking about all of these accomplishments, what we are doing today. So my message to them is really thank you for doing that.
What I feel like there's a lot of myth around people seeking asylum and refugees, and that political rhetoric around refugees is quite dehumanizing. They don't look at individuals as human beings, and they look at these individuals as numbers and feel like, you know, that they might not be able to contribute to this economy. The most important thing I see every day with our clients, their motivation to contribute, to be independent, and to have that self-agency that allows them to get their personality and their independence back. That is the most important thing, and something that we have worked with a lot of employers where we see the feedback from them is that the people who they hire are so motivated, willing to learn, willing to contribute, and to be really keen to continue on their career pathways. What keeps you going in terms of bringing in the voices of our clients in how we deliver our programs, how we reshape our programs, and the most important thing is the adaptability. Because we work in an environment where there are lots of external factors that impact the way we do things. If we don't have that agility to change based on the circumstances of our clients, then it becomes really difficult. So that's what I like about the day-to-day affairs, where we are always evolving, always changing, always innovating, just to ensure that we are not just delivering a service, we are incorporating the voices of our clients in that service. The most rewarding part of my role is all about the things which are in between. When I say in between, are the things where there might not be big outcomes that public sees. What I'm talking about is when somebody comes to you and tell you about they have got their first paycheck, they have found enrollment in one of their education providers, their kids have been able to enroll in a school. These are the things that makes you feel like, you know, that's what you're doing is making a difference in a very small way and being part of their journey. If I could say to the people who started this organization is a big thank you. What they did was to avert a crisis, but what it has become now is a very sophisticated organization with programs that are delivered in aligned with the expectations of our clients, what they expect. What we are doing here today is something which I would not like to do because we have expanded a lot, but that the government should be managing that space. But what it shows is that public is really keen to do the work what we are doing. They are supporting us because they do understand the value we are providing to our clients and the value to those individuals for the whole Australian country.
And we are back live at the ASRC Telethon on World Refugee Day. I am honoured to be here with Tammy Fraser. Tammy, thank you for coming. It's wonderful to have you here. Tammy has been a long-time supporter of the ASRC, I think coming along to our very first telethon over 11 years ago. I've been, ASRC turned 25 last week. I've been here for 16 of those years, and I remember in one of my first weeks at ASRC, I went along to an event to support and represent ASRC, and it was Malcolm Fraser's book signing with Margaret Simons. And I remember lining up in front of Malcolm, and as I got my book signed, I thought, oh, I'm going to ask him, maybe he could do something for ASRC. And I should have known he would be quick, because I said, oh, I work for ASRC, I've just started this new job, do you think that you could do something? And he just looked me straight in the face and said, well, what do you want me to do? And I have to admit, I had to make something up on the spot. And I said, we'd love you to write a piece for us. And you know what? He did, and then he became an ASRC patron. You visited the centre many times with Malcolm over the years, Tammy, and then have continued on that legacy. So thank you so much. It's so wonderful to see you here again today. Why are you here today supporting the ASRC Telethon on World Refugee Day?
Well, generally I support it from off-piste, as you might say. But today I thought 25 years on, it's a special day. It's a special day for us all with the comments we've heard in the news about multiculturalism, and some people love it and some people don't, and we absolutely adore it. And it's part of Malcolm's legacy, and there's a marvellous graffiti of him on the wall here, and I had to come and have a look at that as well.
Yeah, it's so wonderful. That graffiti is much loved. It's a beautiful mural of Malcolm Fraser, which is on our wall. And it talks about the value of multiculturalism. The quote that is of one of Malcolm's, it's been on our wall. It's been on our wall since we moved in here over 11 years ago. And it talks about the beauty and value of multiculturalism. And yes, you're right. There's so much division and hatred. I think we've had conversation over the years thinking, how could things get worse? And they keep getting worse. But, you know, that multiculturalism, what does it mean to you, and why is it so important that we celebrate and, you, as you said, adore multiculturalism?
Well, talking about, I think it's, I just love the thought that there's so many people from so many countries who have taken up to live in Australia, which is such a beautiful country. When you think of where those people have come from, they come to ASRC suffering because the government hasn't done particularly well by them. And still, anything they see here is not as bad as where they've come from. And when people settle here finally, they don't forget their own culture, but they accept being Australian as the thing they want their children and their family to be. And I just love the thought that we are able, with this amazing, wonderful, big, wide country, to welcome them.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think what's unfortunately been manipulated is some who are seeking to divide us are trying to make out this notion of being Australian means you have to all be the same and you have to change, you have to assimilate. But being Australian is a celebration of multiculturalism. I mean, unless you are First Nations, you are a migrant here. And being Australian, one of the great things, you know, being an Italian Australian, like, is the vibrancy and the migration that's brought, that richness of culture. I mean, imagine how boring it would be if we were all the same. Isn't it wonderful to have that diversity? And so what is today? Donations are doubled, I think, for the next 11 minutes. So your donations will be doubled. 1300 692 772. You can also text HOPE to 0476 000 111, or you can go to our website. You're following us on social media. Click on any of the links. You can donate. Donations will be doubled. So, Tammy, last word with you. Why should people donate today on World Refugee Day, apart from the fact donations are doubled? But why do you think people should make their donation? Pick up the phone. Also, if you want to pick up the phone, you can call through. I've got the phone lines are ready for you. But Tammy, what do you think?
I think you give because ASRC does such a wonderful job helping people who have nowhere else to go and want to become part of this country. And they enable them in all sorts of ways to be able to do that. So give, please give.
Please give, and please give generously. And now we are over to Baha.
Hello, hi, I'm Baha, and I'm really excited to be here with you, and we're excited to introduce my guest here, Lizzie Hu, who's an amazing comedian, known for her warmth and kindness and amazing, relatable comedy. One of the best comedians in Australia, and also did a comedy festival show called Says Who, and it won an award, Pinder Award, and I'm really excited to introduce her, and also if you want to catch that show, she's around. So hi, Lizzie, how are you?
Hi, Baha. So good to be here.
Thank you so much for being here, and thank you so much for joining us.
My pleasure.
I also just want to remind everyone that this is the hour of power. So every donation you do is doubled. So don't
double your money.
Yeah, give us some money.
Yep. Give the money. Empty your pockets. Yeah, it's important.
Lizzie, you've been doing this. This is, I think, your third year.
Yeah, my third year.
In the ASRC Telethon. Oh, why do you keep coming back?
I think it's such a beautiful day. I think, to be honest, like the world can be really crazy, and it's so easy to be bombarded with like negative energy, especially on socials, online. But it's really nice to come here and be in such like a wholesome space and be surrounded by community. And I tell you what, Baha, the lunch is pretty good as well.
Oh my God, that lunch was amazing.
Lunch is awesome. Yeah.
And thank you so much for being here, of course, and thank you for Lizzie was also taking calls. So if you want to take some calls with Lizzie, she was getting your donations.
Yeah, I was.
It's a pleasant surprise always to talk to Lizzie. I just want to ask you a couple questions here. Comedy often helps find people common grounds. What have you learned about bringing people together through laughter?
Yeah, comedy is like that. You know, you can. It's one of those things that can really bring people together. It's really, it's a good way to talk about difficult subjects as well. Sometimes comedy can bring up things like racism and, bad things in society, and you can make light of them and give them a new POV, and hopefully people go away with a little bit more perspective about, your lived journey. Yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing, and it's such a great way of like disarming the audience and trying.
Exactly. Yeah.
I had the pleasure of actually being on Air Asia recently, and I heard your voice. It was so good.
Did you hear my voice?
It was
Okay.
so good. Yeah.
So,
you want some announcements?
Yeah. So sometimes I am the voice of Air Asia, and if you're on a plane, you will hear my voice.
Lizzie, there can be a lot of difficult conversations in the world today. What role do humor and human connection play in helping us build empathy and support for one another?
Oh yeah, humor, we need it. We need to laugh at ourselves. We need to laugh at our differences and how we can all be friends. We can all get along. I just want everyone to laugh together. That's the beauty of being in a comedy show, is that you get so many different types of people from all walks of life, and you're together in this room just laughing at the same thing. And I think that's a really beautiful thing when you think about it.
It is.
Yeah.
It's so beautiful.
Yeah.
You grew up in a multicultural family, and it shaped kind of your perspective on comedy. And, so how did it influence your understanding of community and belonging?
Yeah, growing up, so my mum is a white Australian from Irish background. My dad's Chinese Malaysian. And even in my immediate family, I have a staunch Catholic, a Buddhist, and my brother's Muslim. So we could all coexist, guys.
It's very multicultural.
It's very multicultural.
As it gets.
It really is. Like, Christmas is fun. It really is.
Tell us about Christmas. I want to hear about that.
Christmas is like, it's Mum's time to shine, really. It's the only time she gets to cook. Usually my dad does all the cooking throughout the year, and then at Christmas time is Mum's time to shine, and she does okay. Sometimes we have to add a bit of flavor in there. We have to put out the chili sauce and stuff like that. But she gives it a go. But yeah, it's full of laughs. It's full of singing. We just gather around. We're jamming. It's good fun.
Well,
yeah.
I feel like I should ask about your dad's cooking now.
Dad's cooking is the best. Can I tell you, so when I was growing up, I grew up in Brisbane, and at the school fete, every year my dad had a satay stall.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he had a satay stall. It would sell out by midday.
My God.
Yeah, he was so good, and his like legendary satay is still like renowned in the area that I grew up in. And it was so funny. He would sell, this is in the 90s, he would make tripe satay and tell kids that it was calamari.
Wow.
And they would come back for more and more.
White kids.
They were so white, and they were loving this tripe. But I think they were just eating tripe with flavor and peanut sauce, and they were loving it and thinking it was calamari. So
I mean,
pretty good.
Better than calamari, I would say.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, Dad's sauté tripe is pretty freaking good. Yeah.
Well, as a comedian, you're used to making audiences laugh. What's something that has made you laugh recently that you think everyone could use a bit more of?
Oh my gosh, what's something that made me laugh recently? I don't know, little things in my life that I saw an all pink car recently. It just had like pink tire rims, pink number plate, and I was like, this person is living their
pink is pink.
Like this pink. I was like, this person is living their best pink life. Good for them. I've seen plenty of comedians that have made me laugh recently. I mean, I'm always a sucker for someone falling down. When I see someone just tripping on the road, I did that last night. It was so wet in the city. I went like this. I saved myself. And nobody saw it, Baha. And I was so disappointed. I was looking around in the middle of the city. I was like, did anyone see that?
You didn't fall.
I didn't fall, but I caught myself so well. I thought that deserved something. But yeah, I don't know.
Do you push people down the floor?
No, I'm not. Could you imagine? No, I'm not just going through public spaces being like, hey. No, I'm just waiting. Sometimes it's just so funny. Yeah.
I have one more question for you. Your work draws on personal stories and experiences. How important is storytelling in helping people better understand one another?
Oh, it's so important, Baha. And I don't think we realize as comedians sometimes how important it is. It's just a nice way to be relatable with people. And I think that's what I want to do with my comedy is to be relatable, not to just people that look like me, but to everyone, because I feel like there's relatability in everyone's story. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for being with us here today, Lizzie.
Oh, my pleasure.
To have the pleasure of
donate.
Donate. It's Hour of Power. If you don't donate, I'll be voting somewhere else. I'm telling you. I'm gonna.
That's a threat.
Yeah, donate.
It's a real threat.
Jonah.
Hello, thank you, Baha. And we are live here. I'm here with renowned journalist, sports broadcaster Andy Marr. Andy, hello, welcome to the ASRC World Refugee Day Telethon, where your donations are doubled for the next 5 minutes. So we're going to have a great chat. Andy, hello.
It's the end of the Hour of Power, so get on board. There's people flooding in with donations all over the place at the moment. I've noticed a little ticker over in the corner telling us where we're at in terms of the end of day target. So we're heading in the right direction, which is great.
We are absolutely heading in the right direction, and that's only due to donations. So right now, if you're thinking about donating, now is the time to, because for this last few minutes of the Hour of Power, your donations will be doubled. Now, one thing I have to talk about with you is sport.
Yes.
Sport. So, Andy, I'm not sure if you were up at 5 a.m. watching the Socceroos this morning. I was here at 5, and while it wasn't the result that we wanted, I mean, haven't the Socceroos brought so much joy in the last week to us through their commentary, the fact that 16 of them are from refugee or migrant backgrounds. It is Refugee Week, today's Refugee Day, that beautiful first goal by Irankunda. That video that they did talking about diversity is our strength. How have you been feeling sort of watching the Socceroos and reflecting on diversity in the last week?
Well, in the last week in particular, it feels more poignant than it has for quite some time, given some of the political sort of voices that are being heard out there and heard quite loud by a few too many, unfortunately, at the moment. So it feels like what the Socceroos represent and what they've decided they want to stand for, above and beyond just being a good football team. And what a day like this means, it feels like this is particularly important. At this little juncture point in Australian history, the way the world's kind of trending at the moment. So, it feels like today was an important day to come here and represent, and I love the way they do it on the world stage. I mean, the Socceroos and the Matildas, I've said this for a long time, and I've been doing what I do for a living for over 35 years. They are the teams that unite Australia, not the cricket team, not our basketball teams, not our Olympic teams. It's the soccer teams, their football teams are the two teams that unite Australia more than any others. And I think there's pretty obvious reasons as to why.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, I think football is for everyone. The Socceroos have been saying this week, and you're right, Socceroos, Matildas, that does bring everyone together because it crosses any sort of cultural boundaries where, you know, the fact that there are so many teams, nationalities that are competing in this World Cup, it's been wonderful to start, you know, cheering on for different cultures, seeing those smaller African nations in particular doing really, really well and seeing their supporters, because no matter where you're born, you can celebrate and love football as much as you want, which has been great. And I know that, you know, sort of a lot of your commentary has been around AFL. I mean, AFL is also a very multicultural sport.
Yeah, it's these people calling for a return to we never had we did have a monoculture before, you know, white people set foot on this continent. We don't want to get too political about the whole thing on a day like this, obviously, but there is no Australian Football League. There's no Australian football if it wasn't for the diversity of nationalities that have come to the game. And the club that you and I support, the Carlton Footy Club, I know you had Tammy Fraser on before, and our footy club over the journey has been full of Italians and Greeks and Slavs, and all denominations have made the Carlton Football Club the great melting pot that it is. And you know, if it wasn't for Australia being a welcoming country at its heart, you don't get the buy-in to a national sport like ours that we've seen from people whose families have come from all over the world, and a lot of those families have come here as refugees. So, yeah, we should be celebrating it. I don't know why some people, I really can't understand why some people don't, but you look around a room like this and it's a joy to be here.
Yeah, it's such a, you know, I think the thing is that the Socceroos at the moment are representing what Australia is, like, you know, and that is the multiculturalism in Australia, because we're all migrants unless you're First Nations. Yeah, that's right. You know, as a sort of from a proudly Italian family, Italian migrant family, I had no option but to support Carlton. You know, my memories of and falling in love with football was being and living in Italy in 1982 when Italy won the World Cup. What an amazing introduction to football. And while they haven't qualified for the last 12 years, I mean, how lucky am I to have the Socceroos as another team to cheer on and continue that love for football. And it's just given me goosebumps all week watching them and watching their strength. And you just said it's just that might be the focus on them this week, but they've been doing it for years. For years, the Socceroos, the Matildas, I mean, for decades. And you think even some of the First Nations players who are playing with the Socceroos, I mean, before they were even recognised in the you know, as people, which is just unbelievable. So diversity is such our strength. We've been talking about food previously. Now we're talking about football. We're talking about sports and different cultures, different languages, that rich tapestry that brings us together. And, you know, that's what people are donating to. They are sending that message of, we love multiculturalism by donating to the ASRC World Refugee Day Telethon today. Now, are you going to jump on the phones, Andy?
I am. So I'm here for about another hour. So if anyone wants to have a chat about footy or cricket or golf or whatever, or the World Cup, give us a call. And can people? I suppose people can ask for.
They can
absolutely floating around the place. Yeah.
Yes. Any, you know, whatever sporting code you want to talk about. It sounds like Andy has got them covered. I mean, you just told me you had 5 days a week where you're talking live on air about sports. So I'm pretty sure you're covering whatever sport it is that people enjoy. So call through now. Speak to Andy Maher, world renowned or well known. I'm just going to promote you to world famous sports journalist, commentating on all codes of sport, because sport is what brings us together. Like, we are talking about, you know, we reflect on football as for everyone, but sport is also for everyone.
Well, if you're, again, not wanting to sort of get into geopolitics, but if you look at, you know, the United States of America, which is co-hosting the World Cup at the moment with Mexico and Canada, and you think about what's going on in America at the moment, and has been for the last, on and off for the last sort of 10 or 12 years, it's prevailed. The game has prevailed. There were a couple of issues, you know, early in the setup and people getting in and all the rest of it, but now that it's here, America is reminding itself, I think, and hopefully they're seeing it, that they are able to throw their arms around people from all over the world, and it's adding to the nation, and sport is the great uniter, and it's proving yet again that it's able to do it in a country as divided as the United States seems to be at the moment from a long way away. So yet again, it shows that it's got a very powerful heartbeat, and this gentle force of nature that sport is at times for greater good. The World Cup's doing it again, and hopefully a bit of that flows back over here in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, I'm sure it has. So, you know, sport is this great uniter. The other thing that can unite you to this fantastic cause on World Refugee Day is donate to the ASRC Telethon. 1300 692 772. And now, thank you so much, Andy, for joining us. Andy will be on the phone, so call through 1300 692 772. Now we're about to cross back to Con and Santilla.
I'm here with the amazing Santilla Chingaipe, who's just, you're a Renaissance woman, basically. Wow, what don't you do? From author, producer, director, to hosting listening parties. You had Miles Davis
listening
recently.
Parties, yes.
Amazing.
A bit of music.
But you're a long-term supporter and friend of the ASRC, an incredible ally to refugees. You're always using your platform to speak up. It's our World Refugee Day Telethon, and for the next hour, your donations are matched 1300 692 772. Santilla, why do you keep showing up for World Refugee Day? Why is it important to show up for refugees in this climate where we're being told we're apparently meant to be divided?
Yeah.
I love our unity. Why do you turn up?
I think now more than ever it's so important to, you know, stand with and stand up for those in our communities who are marginalised. I think refugees, like everybody, deserve, you know, everything that, you know, is part of being a human being, you know, and being treated with dignity, which I think is so important, particularly in this country where for so many, they get neglected by our governments. And the work that you guys do here is so important. The fact that you show up, regardless of the government of the day, to provide essential support is incredibly outstanding. And I'm just so grateful that I get to be a very, very, very small part of a very, very big and important day like today.
I know for you, one of your deep passions is being a storyteller, is telling the stories of this country, the stories of where we all come from. Why is both knowing our stories, having truth around our history, but also celebrating our multiculturalism and our diversity, why is that such an important part of our national identity?
I think it's important because stories, you know, they remind us at a time, particularly now, when there's so much that's bringing about division, that's telling us why you shouldn't like your neighbour or why you should, you know, look at the person down the road, you know, suspiciously. Stories remind us that at our core, we are pretty much alike, you know, and bring us back to our humanity and reinforce empathy, because we can see ourselves in people who may not look like us, who may not speak the same language like us, who may not pray to the same God. But at the end of the day, you realise that we're all human beings. We're all striving for the same things. We want to prosper. We want our children to prosper. And I think stories, for me, matter for that reason, to reconnect us back to who we are as human beings.
I know for 25 years here, celebrating...
What a milestone.
Celebrating the stories of refugees, centering the stories of refugees. Everything we do is together with refugees. Half of our staff are people who came to this country as refugees, and it's our strength. It's what makes us amazing. We have staff that speak 6 or 7 different languages. They're a gift to our organisation. I can't imagine them any other way. One of the things we do every day is we have a meal where people come in and 150 plus people will break bread together. And what we find is when we're sharing a meal together, there's no space for hate or fear or division, because hate relies on us being strangers, of never breaking bread, of never getting to learn about each other. And what I find is curiosity and welcome. And days like today, where today we started with a welcome to country. Right now in this space, there are people from probably 20 different ethnic and cultural backgrounds. This makes us awesome. Like, this is exciting.
Definitely not a monoculture.
It's definitely a monoculture. But those stories and sharing of those stories enriches us, and it's way beyond food. You know, I was talking earlier, talking about we bring so much creativity and culture and art, from our engineering to our architecture to our agriculture to our innovation to our entrepreneurship to our writing to our theatre to our music to our community, to our collective idea of how we gather. our multiculturalism makes us stronger and smarter and more successful.
And also, the truth of it is, as someone who's a historian, the story of Australia is a story of migration.
Yeah.
I mean, the story of what we now call Australia begins with British colonisation, and that is the importation of people from other parts of the world who then, begin this colonial project that we now know as Australia. So, even just from a factual point, Australia is a multicultural country. It is a story about migration, but even from the long history of this continent, from First Peoples and the diversity within those communities, it's also a story of multiculturalism. And so I think one of the things that is so wonderful about a day like today is about remembering that, that everybody comes from somewhere. And what a wonderful way to kind of celebrate that by giving back to those that aren't in positions to be able to, thrive in the way that so many of us who are privileged to have the citizenship, to have all of the sort of necessary requirements that allow us to work, for example, where there's so many in our community that don't have access to work rights.
Well, it's one of the reasons we're here. So many of the people we support are not allowed to work, they've got no access to Medicare, they've got no safety net.
Education. I mean, all the things that, are so straightforward. And, I feel very privileged to have access to those things, and I feel very strongly that everybody should have access to them, regardless of where they come from.
Yeah. And that's what today's about. Beautifully said, Santilla. That's what today's about, is going, everyone is human and matters and should be loved and should be welcomed and should be safe. You have a right to ever call yourself Australian. It shouldn't depend on where you're born, the colour of your skin, how you made it here. This should be a country that gives you the opportunity to contribute back as a future Australian citizens and to be proud in this country. And so today, on World Refugee Day, it's our chance to celebrate this incredible story. 65,000 years of many cultures and many nations and kinships and lands, and our incredible multicultural story as well that enriches that even further. And today's a day to celebrate that and show your support. Your donations being matched for this hour, 1300 692 772. Santilla, one more time.
1300 692 772.
Call now or go to asrc.org.au/telethon, and you can also bid right now on our auction items, including the Socceroo signed jersey by the World Cup team at asrc.org.au/auction. What are you waiting for? Have your donation match now. Call now.
Welcome back. I'm Baha, and do you remember me? I'm Baha. I'm hosting you today, and I'm very excited to be here with you and with Diana Nguyen. She's also a comedian, and we have a lot of fun. We were just having so much laughter.
We were having so much fun in the warm-up.
Hopefully we get that there for you. We have an exciting update for you now. We're going to talk about the tally, but we thought maybe...
Oh, we're not going to talk about it. We're going to sing it.
Diana's going to sing it. I'm going to beatbox. This is my first time I've done beatboxing in my life.
First time for everything. If you're a first-time donator, be the first timer. We're taking a risk right now. Take a risk, donate some money, and have some fun. Okay, are you ready?
Some fun.
Ready?
Donate some fun.
Let's have fun.
Okay, are we ready? We're going to tell you how much we're at, okay? I'm going to start beatboxing.
Yes, go for it. Here we go. Here we go. We got $587,475. Walla 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 walla.
Not good enough. Not good enough, Australia.
Man,
this is
you sound like my mother.
Yeah. I think I had the same mother. No, but seriously, 587,000 is we're almost third of the way of our target, but that's not good enough because we need to be a lot ahead of that. Like honestly, Melbourne, Australia, we need to do better because Refugee Day is today, and I'm a refugee, so you should listen to me. And I'm telling you to donate because we need money to run a lot of operations. Actually, that brings me to my first question to you, Diana. You have come here. You said around 7-8 years you've been in here doing helping with the telethon. Why do you keep coming back?
The reason why I keep coming back is because of kindness. And I know how important it is for our community to keep growing and nurturing, and the Asylum Seekers Resource Centre do that. They take care of people, and that's a very huge value of mine. If we take care of humans, I think we become better people. And so I'm always here supporting this amazing organisation that was around when my mum was a refugee coming to Australia. So my mum's a Vietnamese refugee. I'm a product of that, and I really believe in you give, and you keep giving. Yeah.
That's a powerful reminder. You need to give and keep giving, and it is because we live in a country that needs to do better. And this is one of the organizations, the very few organizations that are doing something about refugees and asylum seekers, and we need a lot more to support them. And you just mentioned that your mom is a refugee herself.
Yeah.
How was it growing up to a refugee that is a mother?
Look, it was tough. She wanted me to be a doctor, but we both became comedians.
Well,
I think that's why I give back, because I'm not a doctor.
You're not good enough. Yeah, you're not good enough.
But yeah, it was tough, watching my mum settle and assimilate and try to learn the English language. And I had to do all the Centrelink forms. I had to interpret for her and help her settle in Australia. And then I also then worked with refugees for 8 years as a community development worker out in the Dandenong, so Springvale, Noble Park, Dandenong, helping the community, helping newly arrived Burmese, Afghans, South Sudanese young people learn how to drive, get their homework done, learn how to have confidence and courage in their stories instead of hiding their stories.
Yeah.
So this is why I love the Asylum Seekers Resource Centre, because it's bringing out stories that is not far. It's like the neighbour telling the story.
Yeah.
And I want people to hear more of these stories of strength, sacrifice, and we're here doing it today, making more money so we can help more people.
Yeah, I mean, this year's theme is a million stories, and that's a powerful theme, because we're talking about how many. Every one of them is a story itself. It's not just just numbers, as we say. And we need to amplify those stories. Your mother's story is a story that needs to be told. Do you want to tell us the story?
Oh, I've told it so many times, the story. But no, I've got a web series called Fee and Me, which is a family comedy series based in Springvale. But my mum left Vietnam in 1982, came by boat, got to Malaysia, and was very lucky that she was given sponsorship to come to Australia. And then she raised 3 daughters on her own. I'm the eldest daughter, and yeah, I've seen the goodness of what kindness brings to people. And like Tammy Fraser's here, and Tammy Fraser's husband, Malcolm Fraser, our Prime Minister, who was a liberal leader, he said, open the doors so people can come and make Australia home. And that's why I'm here, because someone said, you can come in our home, and I want to keep opening that door. You can come and call Australia home too. So I think that's so important that, we turn up and support this amazing work.
Yeah, it's beautiful. And you do a lot of comedy too.
Yeah,
you're a comedian. You're an amazing comedian. I've had the pleasure of seeing your shows, and it's been amazing. I love your laugh too.
I know. It's a bit snorty.
Yeah, which makes you know that you're actually funny when you make Diana laugh.
Yes.
Yeah, I actually had you once on my show at the Fringe Festival.
Yes.
And I will never forget. Like when you laugh, I'm like, oh yeah.
She's here.
I'm being
I think
funny
I was
today.
sitting front row. I was in front row.
You were.
So.
Thank you so much. I want to talk about your comedy, because it's very powerful and it's very beautiful. And do you want to tell us why you do comedy, and what does it bring to you? Why is it better than being a doctor?
Yeah, well, I think I'm currently writing a memoir at the moment, and I can figure out when I've gotten to stand up and being funny was that I had to stand up to 2 racist kids in the playground, and I made them my friends because I made them laugh. And so I realized I had a superpower because I was bullied and I had to turn them around and like me. And I figured out, well, I'll make you laugh and I'll be your friend. And they became I made 2 bullies become my friend. And that was when I was 8 years old. And I think that superpower of being able to engage people and make people like you, I'm very grateful that it's become my job. And I get paid to do it. But I think even today we're using it for good.
Yeah, I hope so. I mean, I hope it's getting. You're getting the good that it's doing.
Yes.
It's actually always good. My experience was my first comedy show was actually to a sniper.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Oh god!
It was like I just wanted to convince him not to shoot me, but I had like a swollen ankle, and I was just like, what do I do? So I started belly dancing across the street just to and it worked.
To distract him.
He didn't shoot that day because I think he was laughing. I didn't.
Well,
have
you're here.
Yeah, I am here.
You're here.
And thank you, Australia.
Yes.
You said also you worked in community development. How did that shape your thinking around refugees? And
I think I saw how hard it was for my mum to be in Australia, and I didn't want these young people coming to Australia and hiding their stories and be a vacuum. And I feel like with trauma, we know with trauma, you do need to tell your stories. You need to let it out of your body, because if you trap it, you kind of hold it. And I felt like my mum held her story for so long that became her. And so my job was to help these young people do drama, like classes, write their stories, articulate their stories through theatre. And you know, and with storytelling, that's how we heal through comedy. We are that sniper story. God, that's a lot. That's a lot there. But if we can release it and make people laugh, that it lessens that heaviness.
There's power. You kind of like control the narrative instead of like being told who you are. You can tell who you are, and it is what it is. You know, we are refugees, and it's a hard time to be a refugee. But also, there's a lot of power in saying I'm a refugee while everyone's saying don't. Don't be a refugee.
Don't be a refugee. I wish I had a choice.
Why are you a refugee?
Wow.
You know, like that's what they tell me. But you know, this is why, like you know, if you're not a refugee, also if you are, but if you're not a refugee, this is the right time to do something about it. This is we are on World Refugee Day today, and the theme is a million stories. And ASRC does a lot of amazing work. They're doing, you know, food. They're doing a food bank that they help with.
They've got cleaning as well to help employ staff, you know, newly arrived and asylum seekers to be in the workforce. And also the auction.
Oh yeah, we have auction items.
Yeah, I've been bidding, but I've been outbidded. I really want to get that Airbnb.
Tell us about the Airbnb.
There's a 3 nights Airbnb in Peninsula. It's a beautiful house, 6 people, 3 nights. It's currently going for $900. That's a bargain.
Yeah, that's a bargain.
And there's a Socceroos jersey.
Yeah.
You know, we didn't win today, but we might win next week.
Don't buy it today.
No, buy it today to wear it next week. Okay. But yeah, support in any way you can.
I actually have my cat's posters in the auction.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah, Sasha. Sasha is a Syrian refugee cat too.
Oh, yes, I've heard about Sasha.
She's amazing. She's the best refugee out there. Well, sadly, I have to wrap this up. So thank you so much for being with us, Diana.
No, thank you, everyone.
Please donate. Please donate. We need more money, and we're here now with a video from Con interviewing Aurelia Sinclair, another comedian. So enjoy.
It's the World Refugee Day Telethon. It's an hour of power for the next hour. Your donation will be matched. Now here the wonderful, amazing Aurelia Sinclair. Aurelia, thank you so much for joining us today. You've been a long-term supporter of the ASRC. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
This last week, we've been hearing about how Australia can't be a multicultural society. It's got to be a monocultural one. How did that make you feel, and what do you love about multicultural Australia?
I feel like it's just not possible to go back to any other version of Australia than the one we're living in now. And the only way forward is through accepting each other, multiculturalism, and embracing different people, different cultures. And yeah, I feel like everything I love about living here is due to the amazing diverse population we have here in Footscray, especially as a Footscray local.
Imagine Footscray without multiculturalism.
Exactly.
What would there be?
There would be nothing.
There would be nothing. For me, in my culture, I love our kinship structures. I love the idea of collective love and care, how we look after our elders, the way we have this at the heart, not just food, but this love, this work ethic, this caring for our broader community as a part of my Greek Australian culture. In your culture, what do you love most about your culture?
Oof, okay, so I'm mixed raced, so I'm German and Cameroonian, and what I love about that is being able to embrace the parts I love most from both sides.
Beautiful.
Pick and choose.
But that's multicultural Australia. You're lucky you've got 2 different cultures.
Yeah.
And from those cultures, what's your favourite from each culture?
I'd say probably from my Cameroonian side, it's like the sense of humour, being silly, being a bit playful with like different like funny sayings and stuff like that. From my German side, it's probably my attention to detail and perfectionism, which sometimes is bad, but it can be good when I have to pay attention to stuff I can.
But that's a beautiful balance between play and perfectionism.
Yeah.
And today you're here at World Refugee Day. Why does welcoming refugees, celebrating a multicultural Australia, and leading with compassion important to you? Because that's what today's about. Why have you showed up today?
Yeah, I think it's important that when you're in a position to help others to do so, you never know when the tables turn and you need help. People who come from refugee backgrounds have been through things most of us can't even imagine, and the least we can do is welcome them and offer them a place to start fresh, to have another chance. And nobody is a refugee by choice. Nobody goes out there and thinks, oh, I want to leave the country where my family has had roots in and go somewhere that I might not be accepted at. Nobody goes into the world with that. So when people have these negative attitudes towards refugees, it really hurts me. And I think it's good to come from a place of empathy in a time where it's less and less common.
Yeah, I think that's so beautifully said, because empathy and compassion and love makes us curious, doesn't it? It makes us prouder. It makes us feel a deeper sense of love. My grandparents were refugees. My parents were migrants to this country from Greece. And in our culture, we have the word philoxenia, which means to love the stranger, to welcome the stranger, the idea that freedom is a lottery and that it could be you knocking on the doors of the ASRC seeking safety and help. And I loved what you said there around the importance of empathy and welcome, and that no one chooses to be a refugee ever.
Exactly,
It's our hour of power. You can have your donation matched for this hour. It's a great chance to send a national, powerful message of welcome and love.
Yes.
And what else could we send as our message by giving today?
I think the other message is love your neighbour. If you aren't in a position to donate a lot, even the smallest amount helps, especially during the hour of power. It's being doubled, so don't miss out. And if there's something else you could do, it would be maybe sharing anything on social media from ASRC, send it to someone, send it to your family in the group chat. That's what I'm doing. Post it on your stories.
Thank you.
And keep the love going.
Love is the most powerful force that we have. It brings us together. And today, it's a celebration of love and of community. And I'm so grateful to have you here today. Thank you for being an ally. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for your support and solidarity. We are stronger together. Our diversity is our strength. The ASRC is home to people from more than 80 different nations. Our staff are from more than 60 different countries. We speak more than 40 languages under this roof. And today, we started with Uncle Colin. And even in this room right now, there are people from more than a dozen different cultures and languages together, united with one simple message, which is love and welcome. And our multiculturalism is what we're proud of. We're never going to bloody apologize for it. And today's your chance to show up. Don't be a bystander. And as Aurelia said, whether it's $1 or $10, it does not how much you give. It's that you show, hey, I'm showing up. And if you can't afford to give, and as you said, share it on your stories, give us a like, give us a retweet, but show that you stand together in this united, beautiful, Indigenous and multicultural Australia. Again, your donation match, 1300 692 772. That number again?
1300 692 772.
Call now and donate. And thank you so much again.
Thank you.
Hello, hi, welcome. I'm Baha again. Did you forget me? You shouldn't, because I'm Baha. I'm a refugee. I'm a stand-up comedian, and I'm here with you today with Danny McGinley. You know Danny. You don't. Do I need to tell him who's Danny is?
I dare say you would have to. Unless Mum's watching. Hi. Tell him who I am.
Well, you're racist. How do you not know Danny? I'll introduce him anyway. Danny is a
racist against white Australians.
Yes,
Good.
How dare you? It's a refugee day. Why don't you know Danny? Danny is a comedian, writer, and broadcaster known for his sharp wit, quick improvisation, and love for sport. I think he's very known for banners.
Yes.
Tell us about the banners.
So
actually,
the banners, if you don't follow Australian rules football, it's when at the start of every game, the team runs through a banner made of crepe paper and sticky tape. And for my team, the Bulldogs, we write funny jokes on there, and that's what I've done for the last couple of years. And when I started doing it, we won won the grand final. So
oh my God, that's exciting.
Yeah.
I like Aussie rules, I guess. I still don't know what happens. They're just running around and they're trying really hard.
I'll take you to a game. I'll mansplain it all to you.
Nice, done. Mansplain it. That would be great. Thank you so much. Is there a banner that you're particularly proud of?
Oh, yeah. We did do so. The Bulldogs are traditionally a working class team. We're not. Our supporters aren't the hoity-toity rich people. We're from around here, and we were playing against the Demons, who were.
They sound rich.
They are very rich. They're the richest team. They're the toff. And the banner I put up there said, "At the end of the match, we will be cheering. You'll still be worried about your negative gearing."
And guess what? It's
we won the
gone.
game. And yeah.
And negative gearing is gone. It's exciting. Danny, thank you so much for being here.
Pleasure.
I, as a refugee, I really appreciate all the advocacy that you do. And you've been doing this for 7 years now.
7
with
years.
ASRC, yeah.
Yeah.
Why do you keep coming back?
Well, it's fun. It's actually it's a bit of a party in here. It's I'm seeing people I've not seen for ages, and also it's a very good cause.
Oh yeah.
It's and also the judge orders me after I set all those fires. So this is my community service. No, my parents are sort of. Not really refugees. They came from Ireland. Like they were living in the north of Ireland when the Troubles were going on, and my brother was born over there, and they didn't want to raise their kids in that area. So, but because they were white Australians, it was very easy. Because they were white, British and Irish people.
Forced displacement is a.
I guess so, yeah. But it was so easy for them, and I'm very grateful to be born and raised in this fantastic country. And all of my mates growing up were Greek, Lebanese, Italian, Filipino, Vietnamese, and I love the multiculturalness of Australia, and we need more. And I am a big sports fan, and I'm watching the World Cup, and I'm watching all the African players do really well. We need more. We need more. Asylum seeker, you don't have to be good at football, but it helps.
Well, this is a message, I guess, to Tony Berg. Get us some better players.
Absolutely. We'd like some Brazil. If there's a war in Brazil, we can get a few of them. That'd be great.
I feel like Danny's starting a war in Brazil next
just a little one. Yeah.
Just a tiny one, just so we can get some Brazilian refugees.
I would love that.
Well, that's a beautiful message from the ASRC today. We're making refugees now. Thank you so much. Your audience is usually footballers.
They are football. They're football fans.
Football fans, and they love football, and
they love footy, and a lot of them aren't that political. But could I do a message to my people?
Please tell them.
All right,
yeah.
It's 3/4 time. We are ahead, but the opposition is coming. We need support. We need to dig deep. You need to be able to say to yourself, "I did something. I helped out." Donate right now. World Refugee Telethon. The call 1300-692-772, and then you can say to yourself, "I helped." If it is to be, it's up to me. You can do this. Make Australia as multicultural and brilliant. I almost said make Australia great again. That's not good. Make Australia the awesome country that we know it can be. Do it.
Wow, that was strong and powerful. I hope I wasn't in the shop because I was shocked. That was beautiful. I guess I think they would listen to that message.
I hope so. Yeah.
And yes, we will get some more donations. Thank you so much for being here, Danny.
Pleasure.
It's a pleasure to be talking to you.
You folks do.
Thank you so much.
These are the best people.
Actually, fittingly, the next video we're gonna throw now is gonna be from the Socceroos. A video about the Socceroos. Exciting, right?
Very.
Take it.
I was born in Kakuma refugee camp in Kenya. My parents are South Sudanese.
I was born in Brisbane, Australia.
My family migrated from Cyprus.
I was born in Canberra, Australia.
I was born in Italy, raised in Perth.
I was born in Guinea and I came to Australia with my family as a refugee.
I was born in Sydney, Australia.
I was born in Newcastle, New South Wales.
Our family emigrated from Scotland to Western Australia.
I fled my birthplace, Knin, Croatia, as an 18-month-old baby. I lived as a refugee in Serbia until we moved at the age of 6 to Sydney.
No matter where you come from, football's for everyone.
No matter where you come from, football's for everyone.
No matter where you come from, football is for everyone.
The Socceroos aren't just a team. We are a reflection of modern Australia.
Our diversity is our strength.
The Socceroos are the best representation right now of what Australia is. You got people from all different kinds of backgrounds, born not only all over Australia, but all over the world.
When you wear this shirt, you represent every Australian.
To every kid, to everyone with a dream, we're for you, and we wear that with pride.
To be able to play for the national team is something that I'm very grateful for and I take a lot of pride in.
The Socceroos are they're a family that I'm proud to be a part of.
Playing for Australia is one of the biggest honours of my life.
Every time I put on that jersey, I just want to make the country proud.
There's a lot of journeys behind the jersey, so to be a Socceroos has many different meanings, but with one purpose, and that is to do the country proud.
We are proud of where we come from and who we represent, and proud to represent Australia.
Hello, welcome back. I'm Baha again. Do you remember me? Who am I? I don't know. I'm very excited to be here with you, and I'm here to interview KK. I'll give you a quick introduction to KK. KK is a Melbourne-based Chinese-Australian multi-instrumentalist, composer, and cultural producer whose work bridges traditional Chinese music with contemporary sounds. Classically trained in Guzheng. Look at that. This is Guzheng, and I'm very excited to hear it. She's gonna play. They're gonna play for us today, and double bass too. My God! Oh, that's exciting. KK creates performances that celebrate storytelling, cultural connection, and the power of music bringing people together across communities and generations. KK, thank you so much for being here. Can we? Do we have a mic? Yeah.
We can share?
Yeah, we can share. Your music brings together different cultures, traditions, and styles. What do you hope people feel when they experience your work?
I think that what my favorite thing about music is the storytelling and how we're able to connect over, like through language and through culture, and have this shared experience that often comes together through just the beauty of music and sitting together in something that exists across every single culture around the world.
That's beautiful. And on that message of connection, music can connect people even when they don't share the same language. That's beautiful. Have you experienced a moment where music created an unexpected connection?
Absolutely. One of my very first experiences listening to this beautiful instrument, I was listening to a performance and I saw this amazingly clear image of these trees on a mountainside, and I could see the colors of the birds and what the weather was of the day, and I came up to the performer afterwards and I told him all about this performance and what I saw in my brain, and he was telling me that's exactly what the song is all about, and that story, and that's so magical, isn't it?
That is magical.
It really inspired me to become an artist and to pursue this, and to every day and every time I play, that's really what I'm aiming to do, is to bring people together and to bring people to the shared story that I'm telling.
That's amazing. Well, thank you so much for being with us here. I'm very excited. I don't want to talk so much because KK is going to be playing the Guzheng for us today. Are we ready? Let's roll. Yeah. I don't want to bore people with my words. Yeah. Let's hear it. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Thank you.
And we are back here at the World Refugee Day Telethon. How beautiful was that? That's part of this gorgeous multicultural Australia. I'm here with the wonderful Dr. Susan Carlin. Susan, you've been a long-term supporter, spending well over a decade in supporting the ASRC. It's World Refugee Day. If you're joining us just now, pick up the phone, 1300 692 772 to donate, or go to asrc.org.au/telethon. Today is a day to send a national message of love, welcome and pride in our multicultural Australia. Susan, why do you keep showing up for World Refugee Day? Why is it important from your perspective to welcome refugees?
I love the Asylum Seeker Resource Centre. I have from the beginning. I'm a big fan of CON, like I know everyone watching is, and I love the Asylum Seeker Resource Centre because I think it represents everything that is great about Australia. It represents who we want to be as Australians. It represents us wanting to treat every single person with dignity. It represents us wanting to support people who need help and always being open. I feel like every day, every moment, we all get to cast a vote for the kind of people we want to be and the kind of country we want to be. And being part of the Asylum Seeker Resource Centre Telethon is me and all of us in a small way casting another vote for the kind of people we want to be and the kind of country we want to have.
Oh, that was absolutely beautiful. We've been talking all day today about how proud we are of our multicultural Australia, of how our diversity is our strength. We're from more than 200 nations, 500 First Nations. We speak more than 300 beautiful languages in our home, more than 120 faiths of practice, and it makes us stronger while being proudly Australian. What do you love about multicultural Australia, and what do you love about your culture?
Well, what's not to love? I think this is the thing. I always find it interesting and I guess confusing that people would find it scary or threatening. It's, as you said, Australia has been multicultural from the very beginning. Long before Europeans, before the British arrived, it has been a cohesive multicultural society. And it's one of the greatest things about Australia. Australia is one of the most multicultural countries on earth, and that is something that we should be proud of because it is a beautiful country. It is a united country. We can unite around our difference and we can take and learn from each other the beautiful things about each other while still feeling very proud of who we are as individuals and our own culture as well. It doesn't have to be one or the other. And how lucky are we that we get to enjoy that every day?
And we've been enjoying that all day here at the World Refugee Day Telethon. At last count, at least 40 different cultures, every possible faith you can imagine, dozens of different languages, and the collective pride and positivity, everyone looking around and going, I feel like I'm home.
Yes.
I love my great city of Melbourne. I love this country.
Yeah.
How lucky are we to have all of this? It's a blessing and a gift.
Yeah.
I was talking before about, as a Greek Australian, I love our collective culture, the way we care for our elders, the way we are taught the idea of broader communal care, that we don't have an individualistic culture. We take pride in what we can build through our sacrifices and a legacy. For you, in your culture, what do you love most about your own culture?
Oh, that's such a great question. Well, I live in a multicultural house already. I am half Anglo-Australian, half Kiwi. I'm married to an Egyptian. So our house is very multicultural, which we love. And we get to enjoy what's great about all those different cultures. We live on a multicultural street. And I think what's great is that we live in a moment where it feels like everyone is retreating more and more into ourselves. And living in such a multicultural country and a multicultural city, we get the choice, we get the opportunity to always step outside ourselves, learn from other people, give of ourselves, serve others, and then take back all the wonderful things that we get from that. So in my culture, I have to say the Egyptians have better food than we do in my house, and I happily acknowledge that. But what I can say is, as a white person, we're on time for everything. So that's one great thing that I think we brought.
Relative. We'll get there. The important thing is what we're doing when we get there.
Yeah, so.
It's the World Refugee Day Telethon, 1300 692 772. It's not how much you can give. We're just encouraging people to not be bystanders. Our community all week, I've been out there, Susan, talking with multicultural and First Nations communities, and we are all feeling under threat right now. We are not feeling safe in a country that we have given so much to and that we love so deeply. And so I'm inviting you today to send a powerful message that refugees are welcome, that we're proud of our welcome to countries, that we love our diversity, and we are united by our pride in being Australians and in this great country of ours. And today's a chance to send out positive messages.
Absolutely. I think donating to the Asylum Seeker Resource Centre today is a vote for diversity. It is a vote for multiculturalism. It's a vote for refugees. And I think that's something we all want to vote for.
Beautifully said. 1300 692 772. I'm going to cut now live to the barbecue. What's more Australian than a barbecue with Hazara food cooked by a Pakistani Australian and a Greek Australian? That's Australian, yeah? Over to the barbecue.
And go. And here we go.
Hi everyone, my name is Batur and I'm the lead organizer with the Asylum Seeker Resource Center. We are here at the ASRC Footscray Telethon powered by ASRC. I am here with Mariam and Asma, two sisters who have been amazing and achieved a lot without the barriers that have been put on their way, but they did not stop and they made their way to pursue their dreams and achieve what they wanted to become. Thank you so much, Mariam and Asma, for being here today at the ASRC Telethon. So I have a few questions for you. You have achieved a lot in your careers. So you are a medical doctor and you are international students officer at Monash. And so looking back, what's something your younger selves would be most proud about where you are today? Mariam, starting with you.
Thank you so much, Batur, for such amazing introduction. I'm humbled. So if I would look back, something that I'm very, very proud that I was resilient. I never gave up, and I reached out to the support available to asylum seeker students back then. For example, ASRC, scholarships offering to asylum seekers, and I used the opportunity to become the person who I am today.
Amazing, great. So Asma.
Thank you so much. Thank you for the introductions, and then I just wanted to say that what I'm so proud of is staying connected to those people who mattered the most, who understand our journey well and was with us step by step. ASRC is a second home for us. It has been a long 10 years relationship that we are, and it's a good place to say thank you for those who helped us throughout this journey. We have got great examples, Khan, Ugi, Jana, Batu yourself, and then our amazing staff member who putting their time, effort and volunteers in these organizations and other organizations that gives a second chance for refugees. We were considered as a number when we started in Australia, but we try to build our identity, and reaching out to our full potential needed some help, guidance, and then also compassion. And seeing that ASRC is providing for others is just heartwarming.
Thank you, amazing. Asma and Mariam both did not have the rights to get education, tertiary education. They needed to enroll as international students when they finished high school, but they didn't stop. They pursued their dreams and got scholarship, and they are successful professionals today. You have both pursued careers centered around helping others, whether through education, advocacy, or healthcare. So what inspired you to choose those paths? Maybe starting with you, Asma, this time.
This is a very tough question because finding my journey itself, it took a bit of a trial from different faculties, areas. We both started with Bachelor of Science at Monash University. After pursuing that, the pathway was different, and then I find myself that pursuing medicine is not truly for me, and I'm not in that area. And it needed some qualities that it was beyond me personally. But I'm so grateful that I had the opportunity to explore more. Monash University's scholarships, internships, and those additional scholarships from different universities. It was possible for me to explore that I am such a caring person. I love to explore, and I really love to advocate for others. So just going to that directions and finding my route was something that I'm so proud of.
So mine one, I would say that the moment that our boat was drowning and 6 to 9 people passed away, when international borders officers, they came to help us, individuals, everyone from their ocean, I would say that's the moment that their kindness gave us a second chance to live on. I always remember that moment with myself and try to live by that. That's why, and it's part of our community, the way that our mothers and families have raised us, that we have to help each other in the community, and being able to do that by working in health setting environment when the patients, the people are very vulnerable, and being the doctor for them, the caring, compassion doctor, that is the privilege that I have every day now.
Thank you. You have touched on a very good point. So community support can make a huge difference when people are building a new life. So was there a person, organization, or a moment that helped you feel that you belong here in Australia?
I can go first. I think one of the highlights that it's important to emphasize is, for us, it was ASRC, because ASRC were there for us to help us find the scholarships. Because going back, I was in year 12. I had to repeat year 12 again, not because of my marks or anything, just because I did not apply for the scholarships properly. And that itself, a journey, was so daunting because I was questioning myself every single day throughout that year 12 pathway. But ASRC staff member, I think, I remember to this day her name, Miriam. She was amazing. She was one of the social workers at ASRC, guiding us, finding the scholarships pathways, how to apply, how to write those personal statements, was extremely hard to do alone. And receiving that reassurance was important, because my mum did not have that journey in Australia. And being in the first in the family who are going through that pathway was itself hard. But having someone to pat on the shoulder saying that you can do this, I believe in you, that's something that I'm so proud of that I have received from ASRC. And that's community support itself. We have got the potential, and having that guidance is what makes us who we are and achieve what we really can.
Amazing.
Okay, maybe. Do you want one person to answer that?
Up to you. Would you like to say something?
I think it was exactly the same thing for me when universities have mentioned to me that because I haven't applied directly, I missed out the opportunity to study at university because I was considered international and I wasn't able to provide such fees. It was ASRC, Marian, who actually helped us and advocate for us to university and provided them direct emails from ASRC that Monash University decided to give me a second chance and considered my case. Yeah.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Mariam. Thank you, Asma, for being here today at the telethon powered by ASRC. If you would like to donate, so you can donate, call on 1300 692 772. Thank you so much.
And we are back live from the ASRC telethon on World Refugee Day. And right now is the hour of power, meaning that your donations are doubled. $5 becomes $10, $20 becomes $40. Hour of power, double your donations. And I am honoured to be here joined by Gillian Triggs. Gillian, you've come to many of our telethon over the years. And I remember we were talking last year about how grim the state of the world seems. And it's certainly been another grim year. But what's also happened in the last year is you've joined the ASRC board. So welcome to ASRC board. Your first telethon as a board member, but not your first telethon. Reflecting on this past year and the current state of affairs at the moment, like, what are you thinking?
Well, there are two ways of looking at it from my point of view, because I'm a dyed-in-the-wall lawyer. I love the law, and I'm very, very keen to ensure that people understand that they have human rights as people seeking protection, almost invariably fleeing from conflict or discrimination. So that's where I start. Yeah. But where I sort of end up, and I have done in my career really, is we really need to be able to speak up and stand up for fundamental principles of humanity and respect. Not get into the weeds as I used to over the law, although it's important, but really to understand that what we're dealing with is human beings, their families, who are in dire need of protection and support, and that's what the Asylum Seeker Refugee Centre does. And I think one of the things I love about it is that it, of course, does the advocacy. It works with the government on policy, and successfully, I might add, with government in some areas. But what it actually does also is provide assistance literally at the street level. It helps with food. It helps with children who are having trouble at school. It helps families who are struggling. It's very practical. And from my own role over the last few years with the United Nations, I've learned that you need to be both principled but pragmatic. And so that's really where I've landed in my advanced years.
Yes, no, but I think that does sum up ASRC perfectly. You know, we only exist to fill the gaps that are because of the way people seeking asylum are being treated in our community, whether they're denied the right to work, whether they're denied access to Medicare, whether they have to wait a decade for an outcome and to be granted the protection that they deserve, they're not reunited with their family. So on the ground, you know, ASRC, we are people's supermarket, we are people's GP, we are people's lawyer, we are proudly independent. So that is where the real practicality comes in, of being able to assist people at points in time because something's been inflicted on them. But that principle stand, being independent, allows us to speak out. It allows us to advocate for the right to work. It allows us to challenge whether it's, you know, whatever's said in the halls of Parliament, whether it's speeches in the press club like this week, because we also know the value of being different. And it's often being different, which is the reason people have to seek asylum. That they're different. They come to Australia to seek asylum and seek safety to be able to rebuild their lives. And that's what all the donations today are going to. The donations, which are being doubled right now because it's an hour of power, donations are being doubled, whether it's to support a delegation of young refugees to Parliament House in Canberra, or whether it's through our medical clinic, which is a nurse-led clinic but has over 100 volunteers. And that's what people are donating to. And I think at the moment there's a lot of despair. You know, where just conversations in cafes or getting an Uber on the train, people are feeling really heavy, but this is a place of hope. And I think that principle and practicality. Yeah, what else are your
well, I think that's the message, really. It's got to be a message of hope. And when you began your question, this last year, it's been a grim year. We know that people flee conflict. And conflict we have all over the world. It's arguably unprecedented since the Second World War to have so many conflicts in the world. Some of them wars between one country and another. We all know about that in Ukraine. But we also have civil wars in Myanmar, and 12 million people displaced in Sudan, the Democratic Republic of the Congo, where we now have Ebola taking its hold with the local people. So when we look at that international environment, of course, people are feeling very down, very much a sense of we're going nowhere, we're achieving very little, and the situation's getting worse. But that is why I think the advocacy and speaking up is so important, because we can all do this and talk about these things when the times are good and things are going well. This has been an extremely difficult year and difficult last few years, but I think this is when Australians really can step up to the plate and support this very practical work that the Asylum Seeker Resource Centre is providing.
Yeah, absolutely. And so one way that you can step up is to get on the phones, jump online, use your phone, text 0476 000 111, text HOPE to ASRC, because donations are doubled in this hour of power thanks to generous donors. And we really are so lucky to have incredible support from the community, to have people, you know, like you, Gillian, who are on the board, which is a volunteer role in itself. We have so many people who are ready here to take your calls, because donations are doubled, and you are donating for that practical support. You're also donating for the advocacy, and you are sending a message of love and unity. So we're about to finish our live stream, but any last words from you, Gillian?
Well, I think it's that there can be no more important time than now to show the care you have for people in need of protection, their need of help, and need of recognition of their dignity and their humanity.
Yeah, perfect. ASRC World Refugee Day Telethon. The time is now to donate. Double your donations. 1300 692 772. Head to our website. You know what to do. And we'll be on the end of those phones taking your calls, which will be doubled right now. Thanks, Gillian.
Thank you very much.